Shall we end the show? No one really talked about it. I guess nothing too big actually happened, did it? At least not that I heard of. So, okay. Arg with a big super chat, $10 says, big ask. I love to see you bring back cooking streams. Sorry, my nose is itching me today. My allergies are acting up again. Maybe as a Super Goal tie-in with the new Mafia game where you cook up a classic Italian dish. Well, allow me again to reiterate, Arg. I cannot do any content outside of my studio. All right? Can't. Why? Because my crazy obsessed detractors are so nuts that anything that I show you in my house can and will be used against me in some kind of a toxic and negative way. I wish that this was an exaggeration. It's not. They have done it before, and it's only gotten worse and worse over the years, where they literally try to create giant drama memes. They try to, harass people around me. And I'm not going to put anyone at risk simply because I've decided to make a video outside of my studio. Everything in my studio is fine. There's nothing in here that's a big deal. But if I start showing you things from my private life outside of this room, the next thing you know, you have people with insane conspiracy theories, crazy and slander, defamation, and then they start trying to harass people. I'm serious. It's happened before. I always tell the same story. I'll say it very briefly today because I don't want to tell the whole story again. Years ago, this is one of the last times I did this. I was filming in my kitchen, okay? While I was filming in my kitchen, inadvertently, and this is a mistake of mine, I had an envelope on the counter. Now, keep in mind, the camera I had wasn't even like good HD quality or whatever. It was actually completely crap quality. But they actually took my video, which I think it was a DSP Tries It episode that I did on my kitchen countertop, okay? They took the scan of this envelope that was on my countertop. They used AI technology to enhance the blurry visuals to figure out the name of the electric utility company that I use here for my electricity. They then called the company and socially engineered one of the customer service reps. Just knowing my name and address and basic information like my phone number, they convinced the customer service rep that they were me. They then told the rep to disconnect my electricity. And the rep believed everything and said, okay, I will do that, and put in the work request to completely disconnect my electricity. Now, the only reason I was made aware of this is because I had automated notifications turned on for my electricity. So when this happened, I got an email that said, thanks for scheduling your disconnection on Monday. It was Friday. And I said, wait, what? And I called them immediately, found out everything. I said, all right. Sadly, I'm in a situation no one else is in with these crazy people. From now on, let's put a special thing in here that you need to know a special password in order to make any changes to my account. So now I have this extra level of security with all of my utilities and everything where you need to know an extra password in order to make any changes, okay? If I hadn't gotten that automated email, my electricity would have been turned off. I wouldn't have had any electricity likely for several days because it's not an easy process where you just turn it on and off. Like the account, they weren't going to close my account. So I would have had my account closed. I would have had to start a whole new account from scratch. It would have been a nightmare. So for probably a couple of days, I would have had no electricity in my home, which means I can't even work. My fridge would have been off. All my food would have gone bad. So do you see what I'm saying? This is simply from me taking a camcorder and filming my countertop for a DSP Tries It episode. Since this happened, this was many, many years ago. Since that happened, I decided I needed to make a separation between my private life and my public persona. That there has to be stuff that's just for me and my family, and that will be separate from the stuff that we do here together on streams. Since I made that separation, and it was a slow process. It started in 2017, and then every year I got a little more private, little more private. Ever since then, two things have happened. Number one, my life has gotten much better. There is no crossover anymore where these people can like mess with my life because I don't tell you anything about it, so they can't do shit. But number two, the other thing is it has driven my trolls insane. They now are so desperate for attention about my private life that they literally are drooling at the mouth, fiending for information. When I had that week off in July, that was completely unplanned, and I told you guys nothing about it. it's a month later. They're still making videos about, I think it was this. I think it was that. Oh, I have evidence that it was this and that. They have nothing. They have no evidence. They'll never know what actually happened during that week unless I so choose to make it public. But it drives them nuts. Their level of crazy obsession has gotten so dangerous that now they are literally every day trying to get this information. And it's not right that they're trying to get this information. It's not their right to know everything about my private life. Okay? So I want you to understand that I'm not kidding you. Right now, if I just took my phone and I put it on video and all I did was walk down the hallway filming my walls, by the end of the day, there would be dozens of videos about what's on DSP's walls, what's the value of this, where did he get this, what does this mean for him and his wife. It would be absolutely fucking nuts. These people are so insane. So I do not do any content outside of this room. I don't do IRL content. I'm not doing cooking content, nothing. Anything you want to see has to happen here. Me building a Lego set can happen right here with my new lighting, my new camera setup, and it works beautifully. DSP tries it. We've already proven, for the most part, works perfectly in here. But anything outside the realm of that safe stuff, I can't be doing crazy shit. I can't take risks. It's not worth it. For the potential tiny little gain that I might get for me doing a cooking video again, it's not worth it to risk my family's safety, fucking accounts being shut off, all kinds of crazy shit, okay? And by the way, I don't want you guys seeing the entire snow mountain of cocaine that I have going down my hallway. That's what it really is. I'm a drug lord. And so, what I do is I go out of here, I put on my skis, and I push myself down the hallway through the mountains of cocaine. I don't want you to see that and get me in trouble. All right? There you go. All right. Sonic My Shadow has done a $10 super chat and says RoboCop has an upgrade that gives him unlimited ammo. You'll never have to reload. Are you a fan of upgrades that make your video game characters nearly unstoppable? It depends. Like, for example, if that was the final upgrade of the game and you get it at the end when the challenge is at its highest, then I don't see the big deal. If you can get that early in the game and it makes RoboCop godlike and it's an assist mode that makes the game way too easy, then no, that's kind of stupid. So thank you to Sonic My Shadow for $10. Thanks to Arg for the $10. I appreciate that, guys. Thanks for the first super chats of the day. Excuse me. Cool. Oh, man. Excuse me. This is hilarious. Hasn't it been confirmed you received a community strike? That's why you took a week off. Well, that would be news to me because I didn't get a community strike. So I'm pretty sure you can't confirm something that's factually false. Just like these idiots still seem to believe that a police officer came out to my house to interview me about the death threat that I got many years ago. And during the visit, they documented that I was surrounded by security cameras. Literally, no police officer ever came out to talk to me about anything. I only talked to them on the phone with one conversation. So whatever evidence people present is false because it never happened. It doesn't matter what people say on the internet. They can literally make up whatever they want. It's not true. There's no community strike. There's no 220. None of this exists. It's all bullshit. But people are, again, this is what I mean about the level of obsession of these people. They're so dumb and desperate for drama that they will believe anything, even if there's not any evidence of anything at all. Okay. Let's see here. And by the way, my apologies, guys, because the troll is back with his 100 dummy accounts again, so I have to ban them all. Okay. Happens every day now. Guy's a no-life loser. Someone tipped $1.50 saying, I'll donate $100 if you go without mentioning trolls for a stream. You can't do it. Well, then there's no challenge. If you already are saying I can't do it, it doesn't matter if I do it. You'll still say I didn't do it because that's what you guys do. You just fabricate shit. And again, you believe your own narrative with no evidence. And then you just won't pay me. So I'm not accepting your challenge because you're a fucking dishonest liar. There you go. Kind of like, if you remember, the stream many months ago. I was doing fighting games, and someone challenged me and said, if for this entire game you don't complain about or don't make a complaint about the game, I'll tip you some and so. I played it. I literally didn't complain once at all. Okay, not once. All I said was I was actually commentating on the match. Ooh, so here's why this hit me. Here's what happened. Oh, you talked. That must have been a complaint. So you don't get the tip. No, you're just an idiot. You're just a disingenuous loser who is never going to accept anyway. Like, you're just a piece of shit. If you're going to tip $100, you'll just tip $100. You won't have a crazy preface in front that's unreachable or unattainable because you always move the goalpost. Okay. Okay.